Then, which damn wow, here we are. Welcome to my channel. There he is. Not bang. At first it was bam wow.
That was bang wow, is it not?
No, it's supposed bam wow. That's how I say it.
Oh,
I'm inventive like that. Creative.
yeah.
Creative mind.
Fantastic. What?
That is the one. I'm definitely on a scale.
What's the spectrum? Don't know what it is though.
Artistic, like ready to go. Anyway, this video is about Greg, you're probably the best one to explain it.
Oh, it's a Game of the Year tournament. It's like your the fighting tournament that you came up with, isn't it? But we're doing it in our own kind of take on our Game of the Year. We tried to get through as many games as we could. We've got a list of 32, which is a lot. I know, it's a lot of games. Trust me, I know
What
more
year
than
is
anyone.
it?
It's 2021. For 2021, we're not. we got preview copies of every game in 2023.
I mean,
So-
I said 2053.
So yeah, we're doing a Game of the Year tournament video, and it'll look a little bit like this. Is the table of the games that are in it. Kieran, do you want to run through them just so I can get the thing set up? Is that okay?
That's gorgeous. Look at him.
Yes, I do. Like, I'll go through it 1 to 32 then.
Yeah, or you can go through the brackets. It's up to you. Or well, I suppose we could just go through the brackets at a time. What do you think's the best way to do it?
Yeah. We'll just go through the brackets at a time.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna go. Well, we'll call the top left one bracket 1, then 2 bottom left, 3 and 4 top right and bottom right. Yeah, that sound good.
Yeah, sounds fan-tabby-dozy.
Right, cool. So, well, the 32 games, you can have a look at them there. We're not going to read through every single one of them because we'll get to that. But
As I can't be bothered.
yeah. So, well, Juan, do you want to give a quick description of the first game that's up, which is Forza?
Forza Horizon 5 is a car simulation game. Open world, you can drive to different destinations, you can jump off of things in a parade float by the looks of it. Very fun game. That's I'm going to start off just by saying very, very fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. For someone who doesn't enjoy car games, I think it plays really well. The cars are really easy to control. The camera mode's really cool as well because it's a very pretty game. It's clearly made for next gen because it's gorgeous. Different weather systems as well. I think that's really cool. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, like the environment and everything is absolutely fantastic. Like the open world's so cool. It's a couple of different biomes. I always thought there was snow from the trailers and stuff. Like there was a snowy mountaintop, but
weather.
But I never came across the snowy mountaintop. I don't know if it's there. I just couldn't find it.
No, I believe there is snow in it somewhere. I do believe I came across it at one point. But I do like how environments are destructive as well, so you can destroy your environments in it. I think that's really cool. Car models, especially the car models in it, are insanely detailed. Like, from sounds to the way the doors open, just everything is just to perfection.
How do your doors open?
You can do it in the
when you're customizing.
car, you can like pop
I was like, you can't get out of the car. How does your door open?
Yeah, but it's a pretty amazing game. Like the driving and everything's just insane.
Yeah,
like,
my only gripe with it is the online on it was horrendous. Like, say, trying to do anything online, it was slow, it was buggy. You couldn't even.
It also took time to get to the online. Like, it took quite a bit of time to get to that.
Yeah, you couldn't just drop into it, could you? Which was a little problem. I wrote down a couple of things. It was great variety, lots to do, gorgeous game. Kind of the adventure mode, the story mode, if you like, was an amazing way to actually learn everything there is to do in the game.
Yes,
I thought.
Yes, that's what
it ran you through absolutely everything. I mean, I the only real criticism I had of it, I get what you're saying about the multiplayer, by the way, because especially in that first week, they fixed it with the first patch, I think, though. After that, it got a bit easier. But the first week, it was nigh on impossible to get on and do it. But that's teething issues, Joe, and you can forgive that. I think the one negative I had was kind of a personal thing where I love it when you're playing a driving game and Cairns
realistic crashing.
Yeah, Burnout Paradise, for example.
That was my same.
You can turn that on. It's a system you can turn on.
What?
It's turned off by default. Yeah, you can have like realistic damage, and you can turn it on so your car's like totaled.
Right, well, I've got no complaints about the game then. I just wish that you'd showed me how to do that one when we played together all those times, but whatever.
Well, you know what? Here's my gripe: is that it's so hard to find that setting that it should have been on to begin with. So
I gripe, and it's quite a big one. At the end of the day, Forza Horizon 5 is just another car game.
Yeah.
It's just another car simulator. You've got thousands out there.
yeah.
But I'd say it's the best one. It is the best one of that, and it's probably
For the type
It's
of
so
game
polished.
that it's meant to be, though. For the
Yeah.
type of game it's meant to be, it's class.
yeah. It's incredible. And by the way, they're doing the next Fable game. Those guys who made that, which is
They're
going to
doing
be
what?
Fable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is
Oh,
going to be
Fable is famous for its car driving.
yeah. No, but like look at the open world. Look how beautiful. I mean, you can't deny how beautiful that game is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's.
Like
Are we doing ratings now?
Yeah, everyone got
Um,
a score.
yes,
Yeah.
Cairns, you want to go first? It's your video.
Where did I put it? I gave Forza. See, I went through it and I was trying to. I've not given a 10 for anything because for me,
Yeah, no,
like
I'm not giving
you
it.
can never get a 10 because it is literally the perfect game.
Actually, no, I lie. I gave Flight Simulator a 10, but you took it out.
Yeah, well, it was 2019 it came out, wasn't it?
Well, wasn't
Or
accurate enough
2020.
for
It
me,
was
to be honest.
2020. Sorry.
So I gave Forza. I feel that this is harsh, but it's because I've given other things different scores. Do you know what I mean? I've kind of based it off of what.
Also.
Yeah, but like I give it a 7.5, but I feel
Oh.
like
Oh, we're doing
Yeah.
0.5s.
Oh yeah,
I was doing 0.5s.
I did 0.5s as well. I gave it a 9.5. Now, to be clear, just because it's a 9.5 and it's probably my highest rated game of the year, that's because I was rating it as what was it going for to try and do it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's my game of the year, right?
Uh-huh.
But as a game, for what it was trying to be, I thought it was a 9.5. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Mine was an 8. Solid game, absolutely solid, but again, just another car game. No changes. Nothing dramatic was in it. So
Especially considering,
Which-
like, we didn't really play 4 Cairns, did we? And I've heard
Well,
other
I did.
people. Yeah, you did. I didn't really
I
play
did.
it, but I heard people saying that basically it was the landscape was the only thing that really changed between 4 and 5, and a
Yeah.
couple of tweaks.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Like it didn't seem like a great change, but another thing for me for Forza was like I didn't feel like the story really gripped me.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
to like keep me going to the next race. Like, oh well, do you want to unlock this? Or if you go and do that, like I was like, I
Yeah.
don't really feel intrigued to go and find
Yeah.
all this stuff.
I mean,
Drag
like,
in. And it's just like you said, it does for me because I played Forza 4 and playing Forza 5, it did just seem pretty similar, just a new map,
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
which is great, but I want a bit more if it's like a new game.
Yeah, I get that.
totally. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I was going to say something and I've forgotten. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so we've given our scores there. That's our thoughts on Forza. Quick 2-minute review. So the next game up is Battlefield 2042. So, Kieran, I think
yeah.
you've probably played the most of this game. So you can
Yeah.
lead the charge here, okay?
And well, Battlefield 2042 is basically same as every other Battlefield, just it's more creative and it's given more maps, and especially with the environmental stuff as well. Oh, that's. I didn't even see this clip. That was. I remember you taking that shot, Fair.
Oh, it was so good. I had to get it in there.
It's basically a massive multiplayer game. It's great for people who've played Battlefield before. It's one of those games that's more realistic than Call of Duty. It's definitely got more, like, you can do more than you can do in Call of Duty. It's one of those games that is just more in depth on the actual combat experience rather than,
It's more realistic with stuff like.
more realistic.
But,
As there's a boat riding a tornado.
yeah, yeah.
And, I mean, if anything describes Battlefield 2042, that photo
Yeah.
describes Battlefield 2042. And for me, playing Battlefield 2042, the fact that you had a load of options for what you can play, for like maps wise and like time periods wise,
Uh-huh.
I think that's a great option that they had. but it was a bit too well for me. I felt like it was a bit too complicated to like what's the word
To win a game.
not just win a game to like not drive through, but you're like trying to get through
Navigate.
so you can, yeah, like navigate the system.
Oh yeah.
Like, because I felt, and especially you go into, I don't know if they fixed this now, but whenever I tried to play a game that someone had made, which was the whole point of the
Yeah,
kind of hub system,
Portal. Yeah.
yeah, and the portal system, whenever I tried to do that, the connection was lagging. It was like all the mods that were in it were just like crashing and like basically you can't play.
Yeah.
And it's like if you wanted to play, I'm gonna do knives against knives, just like 40v40 knives v knives, and you'd be like, yeah, great, let's just go for it. And then you start playing, and it's just everyone just like lagging about the place.
Yeah.
So
No, I just there's something about this game that I just didn't enjoy. Like I got the free trial with
EA Play.
EA Play and Game Pass, and I played probably 1 or 2 games of it, and it was just boring to me. Like I'm not a massive Battlefield person. I've never been a massive Battlefield person. I'm not a massive like COD person either. So I don't have this kind of like COD. Blah, blah, blah. I just there was something.
it's so much better.
I just didn't like that game whatsoever. I just really didn't enjoy it. There was so many sweaty people on it that was just like you'd shoot you across the map as you just saw. Like there's just something about it I just don't enjoy.
Oh yeah, like that one that you saw in the clip, eh? Yeah, guys like me.
The notes that I put on this was it was good combat, very creative, great ideas, but it's limited good quality game modes, and the lag was awful.
Yeah.
And my last comment on it was I die a lot. So
That's the one thing that really annoyed me. Like, there's no variety to it. It's just the same thing. Like, constantly, it's kind of like the same thing the same problem Warzone's got. It's just the same thing, constantly.
See, I think the things that I said about it. Well, first of all, I thought the idea of the portal, where you go in and you get. I actually thought it was the best bit about the game. Like, see when even when you weren't doing the custom things, Cairns, that you were doing, but when we went in and we played essentially Battlefield 1942 games.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's
amazing. Good. So much fun. Best bit about the game, and like the fact you can go to different years of Battlefield is good. I think now from Battlefield 1 onwards, I think it's had this problem where I'm the same as you, but I've never been a Battlefield guy because I find the conquest mode. I feel like too much of a pawn in that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not earning enough. It's a bit like we'll come to obviously later in the video, but Halo. Like with the battle pass, I feel like I'm not earning enough to earn my way up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time, which is like frustrating. I think yeah, exactly. I think the Hazard Zone, which is the other game mode, which is like kind of like do you remember Spec Ops in Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Really good idea. Really good idea.
Yeah.
But there has to be some sort of ranking system or something like because.
Something to work towards.
Well, not even that. I'm talking about matchmaking wise, because like skill based matchmaking. Because guys like us who are jumping in, we're literally like we're running around, we're getting 2 shots on the guy, and then suddenly we're getting shot from 500 meters away in the opposite direction. Do you know, it's impossible.
You died 20 times. And then you maybe get like a 4-kill streak, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm doing really good." Then you die another 20 times,
and you get fuck all points for it. Do you know what I mean?
Because you don't even see the guys. You don't even see the guys who are shooting you. They're just miles away, and because they've played it, and also with like crossplay, and I get like crossplay can. I'm like you playing on a PC. I'm not used to playing on a PC, but like people who can like use their mouse to snipe.
Yeah.
And they're sat all the way over there, and just like holding mouse hit, and you're like, well, fuck. And they've been playing Battlefield. Like they deserve to be playing people who are the same level as them, whereas we're just
guys who are trying to play a game, have some fun. Do you know what I mean? And it becomes almost impossible when you've got the competitive guys basically coming in and sweating out against you. The one other thing that I said was good about it, I want to say stuff about the negative side. To be honest, none of that was really my negative stuff.
Yeah.
The other really cool thing is I just saw in the clip. See the storms. Very cool. Very cool to be in and about, flying around it. That was the best 10 minutes we had in the entire experience, I thought, Cairns, of Conquest mode. The negatives, so that I would say, is I missed Levolution from Battlefield 4. like the ability. So obviously, destructible environments in Battlefield, right? So cool. No other game really has it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The way that it does, where it's realistic destruction. But in like Battlefield 4, you could topple a skyscraper, and I know there was like a certain amount of things you had to do for it, but you could feasibly topple a skyscraper, which changes the map entirely. And they've
Yeah.
replaced that with the storms.
Right,
And the storms are cool. Don't get me wrong, the storms are cool, and like the rocket taking off, cool, alright, fine. But it's not the same impact as
I
what was in
wish they-
Battlefield 4.
You kept both.
Yeah,
You kept
totally.
both.
But then it'll be a power thing, do you know what I mean? It'll be technical
Yeah.
things. But I think they
Each
should have
one
kept.
to get another.
Why not improve on Levolution and what Levolution is, basically?
Yeah.
And then the other
agreed.
thing is that it's so fucking glitchy.
Yeah.
So glitchy. There was so many,
Yeah.
like you were saying, Cairns, about the port mode, but even in Conquest mode, there were times that I was just, like, my screen was just start freaking out. And it wasn't
Yeah,
like,
but
like, it
in
wasn't.
fairness to Battlefield Ferg, I don't know if that was just us.
No, because I tried it up in Campbelltown as well. And we've got better internet in our holiday home, we've got better internet.
Oh, I've got
And-
a holiday home.
Yeah.
Like, you're up there.
Regardless, the internet's really good up there, and even then, it was like game breakers sort of thing. The game would crash on me occasionally. It just wasn't quite there. So I gave it a 6.5.
I gave it.
Oh,
Would you
sorry.
give it one?
I gave it a 5. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Stuck in the middle. Bang.
I gave it a 7.5 as well.
I was 6.5. I was.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I played more of it. I have the actual.
Oh, Bobby's here, by the way. He's watching. I think
Hi,
it's Bobby.
Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. So yeah, well, there we go. So I take it. Well, we'll take a vote then. For
What was
bracket
of the Battlefield?
bracket 1. Thingy 1. Hold on, give me a second, because I need to do a bunch of stuff here.
Oh god, this is really professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
right.
professional. You guys keep talking.
So,
Um,
Cairns, Happy New Year, by the way.
Have I talked to you since New Year?
I don't think, no, we haven't actually.
Right, here we go. We're ready.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year, one.
Happy New Year, everyone.
But not
So-
Bobby.
I thought we were ready.
Yep, we are. So, the winner, right? Who's voting what then? So, I mean, my vote goes for Forza.
Or is that?
Forza.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Forza moves through to the next round. For Bobby, because you're the only one watching at the moment, just so you know, not if like once you get past the first round, it tends to speed up a bit.
He is right.
There we go. That fits in just and no more. Sweet. Okay.
God.
Cool.
Ooh, next one's a tough
So the
one.
next one, Guardians of the Galaxy versus Kena. This is 16v17, so it is middle of the table, and Juan has played neither of them.
I played
So
neither.
this is an argument, like a debate to convince Juan.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go. I'll
Got a
play.
trumpet there or something?
I'll roll the clip, right? So this is Kena Bridge of Spirits. Because I completed it, so do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm moving so I can watch the clip.
Oh, that's fine. So Kena is just so this is an indie game. This is the studio's first ever game, right? I think it won Indie of the Year. It is gorgeous, and it's not just so these cutscenes. You'll see the gameplay as well, right? These cutscenes, are just incredible. It's like a Pixar film, like it really is. It's that good looking, I mean, the gameplay as well brings you back to that kind of like Xbox original and PS2 era platformers. Do you know what I mean?
Classics.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's it. That's the good and bad of this game, to be honest. Basically, it's an adventure game where you play as a spirit guide, and you have to save this tribes and these spirits that have been killed by a mountain demon. Right, so that's the premise of the game. You can see here the combat, by the way, is a bit Souls-like. It's actually quite difficult, to be honest, to play, like challenge level wise. Also see the wee black things, Juan, the little black monster things.
careful what you say.
They're called the Rot, and you get to dress them with hats, as you can see in the stream video here. And they are
I
the
know
most
what I'm saying already.
they are the most adorable things ever. Like, they are just incredible. But yeah, no, the combat's amazing. It's one of the best combat games I've played, like fighting wise and everything. It's the prettiest game to come out this year, I'd say. Up there with Halo, and Forza, it's up there. And this is an indie studio's first game, and the soundtrack as well actually was absolutely gorgeous. I actually had, obviously I couldn't play it because of what you call it, what's it called? Copyright stuff. I couldn't play music over this, but some of the music in that game as well is incredible. And I mean, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy music's going to be good, but yeah, no, I'd like to actually debate with Cairns the pros and cons. I'm just trying to give you a quick overview of it there.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Ferg, or do you want me to go?
Let me find Guardians of the Galaxy. So.
Or do you want to go through the pros and cons of Kena first?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I've said my piece on it. I think the cons that I would say of it is that obviously I completed the campaign, and the characters you meet in the story are the best bit about the story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're really endearing. You're like, oh, I love them. They're awesome. But I feel like you don't learn enough about Kena, sorry. And she could be awesome. She could be the next Aloy or Kratos. Do you know what I mean? She could be a PlayStation mascot if they kept it going.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. That was what my point was going to be. Is that like Kena is kind of like she's just there.
Yeah, she's just
like,
the silent.
She's just there. Like,
yeah,
you've just been put in. You don't know why. Like you kind of know the reason why, but it's not like her personal reasons why she's doing it, or it's just kind of like, and you do feel connected to the characters around you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, yeah, I want to help and do this, but it doesn't really build yourself up like a connection to Kena.
Yeah, totally.
Rather. And my notes were, I said it was a good story. It's simple and easy to follow, and it's like simple combat, simple. It's nothing complicated about it.
Yeah, but it is quite soulsy, the combat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly,
it is dodge, parry. You've got your light and heavy attack, and you've got a couple of magic things.
And block.
Yeah, I thought the combat was really a shining part
of it.
No,
amazing. I think that's great. I think that's great having it just simple combat.
Couple things of what you said. Later on in the story, you do get a little bit more about Kena, but not enough. Like, I mean, it is
I think I know which bit you're talking about.
When I say a little bit, I mean like just a little
tiny.
bit. Like, but then on the combat, no. What was the other thing you said there, Cairns?
Connections to other characters.
Nope.
Shouldn't you?
I was thinking. It was a really good point. It was a really good point as well. That's a real shame. Anyway, right, yeah. So that's Kena. If it comes back to me, I'll just blurt it out when we're voting.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
My score for that. What did you put, Fair?
Oh, I put 8. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I remembered. So one of the best things about this game is also one of the
worst
kind of not worst, but letdowns of the game, in the way that it feels like it's nostalgic almost, because it feels like a PS2 platformer, like the old Ratchet and Clank, or like the old Jak and Daxter, or what Banjo-Kazooie would have been on Xbox. But that's also the holdback, because you'll be walking in and, like, obviously we played God of War and Halo and stuff, and most of the time you walk into a scene and it's just seamless straight into the cutscene sort of thing. Whereas in this, it is back to the black screen to load in. Like, and then suddenly it's a CGI scene rather than just in-game footage. Do you know what I mean?
But do you know what's the annoying part about that? It's because of the PS5's processing power. It's like black go.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a flash.
See, when it's before it, it's like Jak and Daxter. It would go to like black screen. You'd be like, well, I've got a minute or two to grab my phone. Take a minute to myself, go into that. Now it's just like black. Like phone. Oh no, it's going again. So it's like completely nowhere.
So what did you give it, Cairns?
I gave it an 8 as well, actually.
Oh really? Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
That was good.
Right. So do you want to do a quick overview of the Guardians game then, just now, Cairns?
Yeah. Well,
right.
Spoiler alert: it's a Marvel. If no one's watched. To be honest, this game, after watching it, when we first saw it, Ferg, on, I can't remember what it was. We saw it when we saw the trailer of it.
Was it Game Awards last year?
Yeah, we saw it, and Ferg and I both thought this just looks like
shit.
Yeah, it looks terrible. Like it's just like just shooting, but it's like not almost like hack and slash, but with shooting, and it looks almost like you turn-based combat almost. And I'm kind of sat there going, just looks a bit shit. Doesn't look like there's much going on. And to my surprise and yours, Ferg, it was actually phenomenal, combat-wise,
Yeah, really fun.
story-wise.
Yep.
Everything about it was actually really good. I think this one of my favorite games this year,
Oh, really?
because of how much a surprise it was to me.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Because I expected it to be so bad, and I was so pleasantly surprised by it. And the story was good. It's something different.
I was watching
It's
the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I realised. It's something different. It's got everything that the Guardians kind of like stands for, is like as far as we know. Like it's just
Has it captured James Gunn's kind of universe quite well?
It's different. Very different.
it's different, but it's still correct to the Guardians.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Like, it does it.
what I had written down about it was a good story. It's one of the best narratives of the year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like really fantastic story. That's where it shines the most. The gameplay was like Ken says, very surprisingly fun.
Yeah.
And the costume collecting, like when you
Yeah,
go
that
into a
was great.
game
I love that.
and it's fun to go and find the stuff, and it's like got the Guardians movie outfit, it's got comic outfits and stuff, and just giving them for
And
everyone.
they look aesthetically really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
So
it's
good.
not just like a half-arsed like version of them. It's actually really good.
The criticisms I had of the game was it was probably 4 hours too long, or maybe not, maybe not that much, but it was just a little bit too long at the end. I thought,
I disagree.
in my opinion, then I thought it was a
Yeah.
little bit too long at the end. I had a few times where it just totally glitched out on me, like
Yeah, that was my only gripe for it, was that it was just small glitches about
yeah,
the
but
place, and
like they kind of take you out of it, don't they?
they impacted you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
was
I
my
mean, I
thing.
had
It
some
was
cutscenes where like there's this point where they're in space, and Star Lord's mask had glitched out, so he just
Oh.
had
Yeah,
a face.
sorry.
But I didn't realize that it glitched out, and I was sitting there going, "How's he breathing in space? I don't understand how this is happening." It just kind of
Yeah.
it ruined the little thing. The soundtrack's really good.
Yeah,
Songs are all
soundtrack was
fun.
one of the big things.
The bad guy, who I will not say, or one of the bad guys in it, I thought looked a little bit messy.
Mm.
I wasn't a big fan of the design. I won't say who or what it was or which bad guy it was, but I thought it looked a
Yeah.
little bit messy.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know.
Another thing I liked very about it was the fact that this type of game it was your decisions in the end would impact, like they could impact you later on. Like
yeah,
if you have if you
the decision trees were
if you
good.
have a certain amount of money, if you have a certain amount of money and you spend some of that, and then it impacts you later, which then impacts you later on. Like
That
it
happened.
just
That happened to me.
yeah, and me. Well,
Sorry,
I
I was-
didn't spend it. I had money.
I was googling who the bad guy was. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
What score did you give, Ferg?
So I give it an 8 out of 10 as well.
I gave it an 8 out of 10
Did
as
you?
well.
So coming to the vote between Kena and Guardians,
Yeah.
we'll give Juan the last vote because just in case it's
Yeah.
a split. But I was basically saying that Guardians was really good because it was a surprise, but
Uh-huh.
I preferred probably the actual gameplay of Kane. I thought collecting wise, it was pretty similar level. The story of Guardians is obviously better, but I think
Yeah.
gameplay wise and length wise, I thought Kane was pretty much the perfect length, whereas Guardians was a little bit too long. And yeah, I think the combat of Kena, and especially taking into consideration that Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, I think it was Crystal Dynamics, it might be a different Square Enix studio. No, Eidos Montreal, sorry, made Guardians, really well established AAA studio, and that's Kena's studio's first ever game.
Yeah.
Like I think that should be actually taken into the equation. I know it's not really you're picking the game of the year irrelevant of that, but I think that has to be thought about, to be honest. So my vote's with Kena.
My vote is with Guardians. Because,
Ooh.
to be honest, yeah, there was some small glitches with Guardians, but I did think the story was just so good. It was so compelling and just had me coming back for more.
See, I
Plus
agree.
with the
I agreed
collection
until the
and
last little bit.
the combat in it, I thought was really good. Yeah, there was like small glitches about the place, which they should fix. But to be honest, as a game, I would say out of 100%, I'd say 5% of it was glitches.
Fair. Well, the
And
reason, the other reason I'm voting for Kena is because see if I was to sit there and say which one would I rather play right now.
I play Guardians.
See, I'd play Kena. So there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'd play
But
Guardians just
it's
because.
like it's interesting that we both gave it the same score. Like, I mean,
Yeah, they're
and the
both
fact
very
that
good games.
they're ranked 16 and 17 as well, and
Yeah.
like it just happened to work out that way. To be clear, by the way, I should have said this at the start. The rankings aren't based on our scores of the games; they are based on the actual Metacritic scores, which we only looked up maybe in the last week or something, and
Just
that's
before
when
we
they've been
finished, yeah.
ranked. So this is all like an actual ranking, if you like, of the games. So our opinion is just
Null and
extra.
void.
Yeah, exactly for the ranking anyway. So,
So-
what have you got to
Oh,
say?
man.
So, what I'm going to pick, and this is purely because, obviously I've not played either of them, but the reason I'm picking this is purely because I've not forgiven them for this. No, I've never forgiven them for that. I played this, I had to play it, fucking terrible. Kena, let's move on.
Just like to say it, Avengers isn't terrible.
It is terrible. It's terrible.
It's not
It's
terrible.
terrible.
I wouldn't say
Fair.
terrible, but I am starting to get on the. I'm just going to put Kena instead of the full title because that takes time.
Surprised
Cool.
you put it above the line.
Oh
Thought
God! Right, Juan, you can do the description of. Oh yeah, Cairns, I see what you mean. I'll fix that. Sorry, you're right. That's a very good point. That is much more pleasing doing it that way.
Yeah.
So, Juan, it is now over to you to describe to us Halo versus Hot Wheels. Okay, so we're going to start with Halo once I find my mouse.
Please find the mouse.
I found the mouse. Right, so rolling the clip now.
Harry, where are you?
I'm just going to put a jumper on.
So, Halo Infinite, my oh my. Return to pace from original Halo, I feel. Very good game. It's a very, 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 very pretty game. The story in it is fantastic. I think my only gripe with the story is if you've not played Halo Wars 2, you kind of don't understand a lot of it. But the open world aspect of Halo Infinite is just I really enjoy this game. All I can say is that I really enjoy this game. It's just I'm sorry. All I can say is just I really enjoy it.
Cairns, you got a pick? Could you? Oh no, you've not played it. You're the final
I've not
vote
played
here,
the
aren't you?
story. I've played. Yeah,
You
but
played
I played
multiplayer.
the multiplayer.
Well, you can talk about multiplayer if you want, and then I'll talk about the
Yeah.
overall as well.
Well, my opinion on Halo multiplayer, I think it's good. Like, it is a good game. It is good fun to play because I played Halo 1 to 3, and I'm still to get the other ones because I want to play it in order so that I have the whole story before I play that one. But it's for me, the combat's not changed really, even since like the first and second Halos, which I understand it's just kind of how the gameplay is, and yeah, it is quite good fun. Like the multiplayer is good fun. It's got a good selection of game modes in the multiplayer. The customization I think is really cool that you can do that, but like we said before, Ferg, the battle pass, like the season pass, yeah, you can buy it once and that's it, but you also feel like you've bought it and then you're playing and it's like you're having, it's not like you're doing challenges to get rewards. It's like you're grinding out game. You have to play like 50 games, and that's the only way you can get XP. Like you have to do games to get XP. You can't do the challenges. The challenges just seem a bit
Well,
pointless.
it's not even just doing games. It's like that I actually see initially when that came out, Cairns, the multiplayer came out. The game XP you got wasn't there. It was just the challenges. That's the change they've made to try and improve it a bit.
But it's not really improved it.
Oh, totally,
at all.
totally agree. Totally agree.
That's one of my pros and cons of Halo is like the story goes back to original Halo, of how it's nostalgic and it
It's
looks
good
the same
fun.
as the original Halo, right? But this whole multiplayer, everyone has to have a battle pass. Everyone has to have a progression
Yeah.
system. I just despise it. I hate the Halo progression system. I hate the battle pass. I hate the fact that you've got to play thousands of games. It gives you like 200 XP at a time. I hate this kind of whole grinding it out. I also hate about multiplayer is how it's not like match based. It's not like matchmaking based. You can
Yeah.
go into a game and you could be like, you could sit at the bottom of the leaderboard the full game and just get absolutely rinsed by guys that clearly sit all day playing it, or you can go
Yeah.
into a game and you can be a Halo god. It's no in between as well. It's no in between.
Kind of same problem
Yeah.
with Battlefield sort of thing. No skill based
That's what I
matchmaking.
was gonna say. That's the same issue I had with it. Was that you can play it and you're just getting hit, and you still win because you've got someone else who's just played well, and you're just doing shit, and it just kind of it brings you down.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you're
absolutely.
like, I don't really want to play. I don't want to play if I'm just dying. I want to actually get. I want to play something I'm good at.
Yeah.
And
The
I
other
think
thing. Sorry, on you go.
I was gonna say the one thing that I'm like the reason I would play it is because we play it as like together,
Yeah.
which is the only reason I go into it. And it's like if you haven't played, I almost feel like if you haven't played Halo since the beginning,
Hmm.
you're not as good as everyone else, and they just
Yeah.
they basically
No,
just
absolutely.
kill you
Absolutely.
all the time.
Right,
The thing
so
that really
sorry.
irritates me is obviously I played Halo from the beginning. I've been an Xbox person from the very get go. The thing that really irritates me about Halo Infinite is just the difference in guns. Like they're not balanced whatsoever. Like certain guns in the game feel like a water pistol. Like the Bulldog, the shotgun feels like a water pistol compared to the
Yeah.
other shotguns in any other Halo title. The Covenant guns or the Banished guns, whatever you want to call them, are just horrendous. They might as well be shooting Nerf darts. They are terrible. They're awful. See, especially with multiplayer as well. You might as well be going.
I I agree with you
Yeah, I
as
get
well,
that.
man, because there are some guns that I don't understand Halo's like reasoning behind it for the mechanic of some of the guns because
Yeah,
some guns it's like you aim and it's literally like you go from that to and it's like just like bring it slightly closer but not actually aiming because
Yeah.
there's no actual aim. And then other guns it's like there's a scope so you zoom right in.
So, I'm gonna before I get to your point, Kieran, about the guns, I'm gonna give you my pros and cons of the game, right? Because I finished it about 6 hours ago, right? The campaign. I mean, I've played multiplayer, but I finished the campaign about 6 hours ago. So first thing, it's like a semi-open world in the campaign, which was awesome to explore. Really, really fun. Really liked it, and the level design on it's awesome. Absolutely class. Can't complain about that. The gunplay is probably the best gunplay I think that I've played since Modern Warfare, as in the newest Modern Warfare that came out. And I get where you're coming from, Cairns, with the aiming thing, but that is a very specific Halo thing where it's always been like the kind
Yeah,
of slight.
no, I'm just meaning as Halo's mechanic. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
been like that's what I meant. It's like the same as Halo 1, Halo 2, but
Yeah,
see when if you're doing a multiplayer and the same gun you get all the time is the one that's just zoomed in
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
3v3 and you're like, I'm in a small map and you've given me a scope.
No, I get that. I get that. But regardless of that, I thought the gunplay and the gameplay in general, especially see the new edition of the grapple shot in campaign,
yes.
Grapple shot's great.
incredible, amazing, love it. I don't think I think I used the threat sensor a couple of times with some of the bosses, but I was literally like, why would I get rid of the grapple shot? Because see if I'm in trouble, I could just like, Spider-Man away, woo! Like,
Or you could just like grapple it and grunt and just
So-
box its head.
just a note on this. This is an extensive set of notes. It's the only game out of this whole list that I have not one but 2 pages of notes on.
That could be good or bad.
One other pro. Right. So the campaign overall great fun. Multiplayer good fun. It needs more maps and more modes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is just there's not enough. There's not enough there to keep you engaged, especially when it's like the gunplay. Actually, see if there were more variety in it, would actually be really good. To me, it felt like probably a foundation. Like, so I know Halo 4 and Halo 5 came out and they were like, oh, we're doing a trilogy. But although this is kind of capping off that trilogy, does it not feel to you like it's laying the obviously Halo Infinite said to be an ongoing thing, but it feels like it's laying the foundation for something bigger?
I feel like it's scrapping what came before with Halo 4 and 5 and just completely starting again.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think it's the best Halo since Halo 3. I don't think it's better than Halo 2 or 3, but I think it's the best one
Whoa,
since.
whoa, 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 whoa. Reach.
For what?
I prefer 2. 2 is my favourite. I love
No.
2.
No one got that joke.
It wasn't a joke.
Oh,
It's
for
the name of the
what? No, he said for
You said
what?
Reach, I said for what?
I was too busy getting into it, sorry.
No, I thought Reach was
It's a bit
great,
of a
but
stretch.
I love the chef. I love Master Chef.
Yeah.
And I
Bit
think
off topic, but okay.
2 and 3 are just awesome. I think a couple of cool additions to multiplayer. The battle system, like you said, needs overhauled. There needs to be reward for getting kills. Like there just needs to be, because otherwise you feel like it's a bit like Battlefield. It feels like you're just cannon fodder,
Yeah.
and everyone's just trying to complete challenges rather than complete the objective.
Yeah.
I think I know they might not do this because it's been like this in Halo multiplayer for a long time, but I would quite like to see the addition of multiplayer of different factions. So like you could be brutes versus Spartans,
Yeah.
or elites versus
Oh, I
Spartans,
didn't-
or
yeah,
even
I
the
didn't
banished
like
versus
that they had
Spartans.
I didn't like that they had like everyone's just a Spartan.
Yeah, but that's how it's always been. To be fair,
Yeah, but
well,
I-
no, in
but
Halo
I'd like
Halo
it-
2
yeah,
it
there's-
was different, wasn't it? You could play
Yeah,
as
you could get aliens.
I believe.
Halo 3. Well, yeah, there you go. The couple of criticisms I had, especially the campaign, was I got, like I said, it was laying a foundation, but the story never hit with me like the previous ones did. Now, I only started playing Halo at the start of this year. Like, I went through all of them. I thought the campaigns in 2 and 3 were like amazing. So good. 4 and 5, I was like, yeah, okay. This one, I was a bit better than, yeah, okay, I get what they're doing. Like you say, when they're scrapping it and they're going with another direction, which I think is the right thing to do. But it just never quite, I never got that, oh, moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no. My issue with the story is like I had to go and read what happened in Halo Wars 2 because I'm not gonna sit and play a turn-based game.
oh yeah, I also didn't know that I had to know that. Well, you can tell me about that after the video, but like I didn't
Yeah.
know what I needed to know from that. The other thing was there's a mini boss near the. He's basically painted out as the one with the red stuff one.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that fight was really underwhelming.
Easiest person to kill in the whole
Yeah,
game.
he's so easy. Like, and
Other
he's
than
meant,
that's online.
like yeah, he's meant to be like this threat, this looming threat the whole time, and then like, I got his shield off, killed him in one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was just like what the hell.
From,
Although on that level, see with the multiplayer maps thing, you know the training rooms that you go in. I think they should add them as maps because they were awesome.
oh no, absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The biggest criticism I had of it though, to be honest, was that it felt tailored to Xbox Ones. So my best example of that, right, was it's a bit like the Kena with the loading screens, right? So my best example of that happening and just taking me out at the moment was I'm going into an enemy base and I've fought this whole time, and then I'm going right. I've got to jump up this grad lift to get to into the enemy base. And I went into the grad lift and I look up and then the screen goes black and it's the same loading screen every single time, right?
Yeah.
And I sat there and it wasn't like a 5 second loading screen, it was like a 30-second loading screen,
Yeah.
right? And then when I came out the loading screen, I was floating for another 30 seconds. And I'm kind of sitting there going, this is the whole point of the SSD. Like, so that when you're doing stuff like that, it loads the rest of the level really quickly. And there was, after that happened, basically every story mission there was a moment like that where you go in and instead of just being seamless, and I don't even mind it being a small cutscene or something, that's fine, but it's like fade to black, 10 seconds of load screen, and then you're back in, and it just felt like this is so that Xbox Ones can deal with this rather than this is the Halo for the future. Do you know what I mean?
So I get what you're I do get what you're saying there. I do think it completely takes you at the moment, and as an Xbox Series X or even Series S, you should never have a loading screen. I think the thing with the grav list, what they were trying to do was take you back to original Halo, where every original Halo has this like, or like 1, 2, and 3 has this situation where you're in a grav lift and you just get exposition the whole time. That's what
No,
they have.
see that I don't mind. See, I actually quite like because that was the thing. Because in the first ones, I like going
Yeah.
up the grad lift. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool because you're going up the elevator, right?
Yeah.
But it's the load screen, the long load screen in between it that
Yeah,
really,
no, the load
really
screen-
fucked me off. I was like,
The thing is, like, the thing with the load screen is you're not even going into an environment where it's like hundreds of things that it needs to load. You're literally going into a room.
yeah, it's a level. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like just grey constantly.
totally. And it just felt like it wasn't optimized as well as it could be. So my vote. Well, no, oh, shit, that was only Halo, right? So,
Yeah.
Cairns, do you want to give us a
Scores.
rundown? Oh, I gave it.
Scores.
I gave it. Oh no, I nearly read that as a 7.5. I gave it an 8.5.
One.
I gave it a 9.
Ah, okay,
See-
okay,
I'm only going off the multiplayer, so I gave it a 7.
that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
no,
If you're only going off the multiplayer.
multiplayer, I haven't played the story, and I die a lot in the multiplayer. So
To be honest, if I was going to say what I took points off for, I'd probably put a point off for the battle system and how the multiplayer is running just now,
yeah,
and half a
yeah,
point for
that's-
like just the little bits needed fixed in the campaign. Oh, I also had
between-
serious audio issues. See, anytime there was a cutscene on, and it really took me out. See, and it's a known issue with the game, where if you've got the headset on, I've got the Xbox headset, and it happens on PC. But if there's more than 2 sounds going on, it just starts cutting out, and it's like in big cutscenes that's happening to me, and there was nothing I could do to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I checked, I was like, is it just me or is it everyone? And it's happened to a lot of people. So that's another thing that I was like, oh, that's just a pain in the arse. Right, quickly moving on to Hot Wheels Unleashed.
I know.
Cairns, you want to give the rundown on this?
So Hot Wheels, you know what? It's a classic, fun little. It is a little game. It's a classic, always just a racing game, really. The selection on it, great amount of tracks. Like it's got a great selection of tracks. It's the controls are good. The multiplayer is quite good, but my only criticism for it would be my main criticism for it would be that you have to pay for the tracks, but you can earn enough money to buy tracks on the game, but it's just a bit of a pain that you can't just like unlock tracks to play. As well, another criticism I had for it was the multiplayer. For local multiplayer, you can only do 2 players,
Yeah.
whereas I think it would be better because it's Hot Wheels. Like you should have the chance to do like at least 4 players to go on, so then you can try and go round. But in my opinion, the drifting was great in it. Like the actual control of it, great. It's simple, it's easy. That's none of my actual notes. I've just I said on my actual notes. I said it's good racing. It's well balanced. Good range of different different maps, and the fact that you can actually make your own map. I think that's really cool
Yeah.
because it's Hot
Yeah.
Wheels. You can do that.
Because we're going quite long here for the first round of bracket 1. I'm just going to make it quick. So yeah, fun racer, great little arcade game. The track building's amazing. The actual mechanics of the game are fun. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it feels like
No.
a PS2 racer made for a next gen console.
Yes.
Is what I'd say.
That's probably what I'd say as well. Great little fun game. I think it's really good for kids. Kids would love that game. It's good for parties as well. Stick that on in the background. A couple of guys, a couple of people,
Yeah.
whatever, sitting there, have a beer, sitting, drinking, playing it away. Great game.
So votes from here. So
Score.
score. Sorry, yeah, sorry. I gave it a
You
7.
just skip that out.
7.5. Sorry, we've gone 50 minutes and we're only in fucking thingy 3.
I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
I
went for what it was. I said 8 out of 10 as well.
I gave it 7.5.
That's the thing. For even though I gave like Halo a lower score for voting for this one, even though I gave Halo a lower score, I do think that it's a better game.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think
I
we're
think Hot
all
Wheels-
voting Halo.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's the thing. It's like Hot Wheels is great. Like it's great for what it is, but it's no groundbreaking stuff. It's been made. The type of game has been made before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep a rip into these next 2 games.
So, did you? Neither of you like these ones,
Oh no, I did not.
right? Well, I'm gonna.
I did.
I'm gonna give the rundown of the Forgotten City so Juan doesn't tear
Yeah,
the
go for it.
developers a new one. So this is the Forgotten City. Basically, it's a game made in Skyrim. It was originally a mod a few years ago. There was I don't know if it was finished or not, but basically they got the rights to basically use the engine for Bethesda or whatever and make this game themselves. It's lots of dialogue options. It's basically a mystery, a murder mystery actually, essentially,
It's a murder.
to find out who who commits a sin that makes the golden statues come alive and turn everyone to gold. So basically, you're sent back in time, have to figure out this mystery, and it's a time loop. It's another time loop game in the year of time loops.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it has multiple endings. You can do lots. You can go through it quickly. You can go through every single scenario, or you can just
Play it straight through.
play it straight through, which is basically what I did. I got one of the endings, and there were twists in the story that I didn't see coming, and I was really impressed by. Like I went, oh shit, that's actually super cool. Um, yeah. Well, do you want to? Should we just go quick description of the game, then on to the next one, and then we can discuss it?
Yeah, sure.
Just because I'm looking at the time that we're on, I'm like, oh fuck,
That was
we talked about
that's
Halo
mainly
too
Halo.
much.
That was just mainly Halo.
So am I the only one that's completed this one? 12 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
Right. Okay. I'll give it.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a high budget time loop game again, with an all star cast with Daisy Ridley and James McAvoy and Willem Dafoe. So he basically, this is another murder mystery actually. So you're stuck in your apartment and you have to figure out why this policeman is coming to kill you and your wife, essentially. And you have no idea why. And it's got some pretty dark twists and turns near the end.
Yeah.
It's a point and click game, which isn't ideal for console games, to be honest. But the actual story part of it was good, but holy shit, was it dark. Like, you two haven't completed it, but see the ending of the game. Dear Lord. It was like, oh God. Like, one of those moments where you're like, I don't know if I like that. Which is actually a lot of people who, like reviewers and stuff who did it, sat there and thought the same thing. Like, should this be allowed? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So pros and cons for each game, then, boys. Let's go.
Okay, I will first with Forgotten City. This game looks like shit.
I mean,
I
it
know
was
it's
a Skyrim
I know
game.
it's on a Skyrim mod, but they could zhuzh it up a bit. They could do something with it. It just the characters don't like sync up with the dialogue when they're speaking. The characters will look away at you from sometimes. Like, it just, to me, looks like crap. The story for it, to me, only thing that really got going for it, and I didn't enjoy the story. I got near enough, couple hours into this game, and was like, I need to put this down. I don't enjoy it. It's too much dialogue. It's too much for you to concentrate on. See, if you finish work at the end of the day, you have to sit and read a novel of a game. You won't enjoy it.
No, reader.
No. Really read. In my notes, I do have an interesting point. It does remind me of like a ride at Alton Towers, like the story. Like, see if you go on a roller coaster at Alton Towers, and the backstory is just like so complicated for no reason. Does that make sense to you? No, just me. Okay, never mind.
I don't think you hit the point, Juan. I don't think you hit the point where it makes sense.
Yeah. For some shade reason in my notes, I just got Karen. Her fucking name is Karen. So there must be somebody called Karen in that game.
Maybe it's Kareen.
Kareen. The cult vibes in that game as well. My God, it's so culty. Don't like it. Just no, don't like it.
So,
I feel like a lot of personal issues.
Juan's given the cons. In my opinion, it was actually I have the exact opposite opinion of Juan. I really enjoy games like that. See, when there's loads of dialogue and loads of choices. Unlike Juan, I can read. So, after a long day at work, I can still read something. So no, I really enjoyed it. I thought the combat system was a bit repetitive in my opinion, but I did enjoy the actual story of it. I know I haven't finished it, but I did enjoy the story of it and as far as I get through. And I love games like that where you can make the choices and it changes what's happening,
Yeah.
like how it can impact you. I love that because it gives me a bit of pressure, and I'm like, fuck.
I think I may have been drunk when I wrote my first two notes, because the first note I have on it is filters are cool, which makes no sense to me. The next one was photo mode. Nothing about it, just photo mode. No, but I'm
Glad
the
you
same
took
as.
it seriously.
Well, no, in all seriousness, though, I'm like Cairns. I thought that the dialogue options were really cool, really fleshed out. Actually, I was keeping in mind that it is like an ex Skyrim mod, and I'm pretty sure it's a small team doing it. It's not AAA budget. It's not people from minority background. It is guys who have gone, we love Skyrim, and we're going to make a cool story in it.
Yeah.
The twists in the story, I don't know how many you got to, Cairns, but super cool. I thought the ending was a little bit underwhelming, and it was a little bit short, the game overall, but then you have to remember it's a mod. But I thought the mechanics were good. I thought the twists were good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it an 8.5.
I gave it an 8.
Give it 3.
Jesus Christ, man. Right, on to 12. On to 12 minutes then.
12 minutes.
Again, I'll kick off at 12 minutes.
Oh,
So,
God.
12
No,
minutes.
man, it's 57 minutes. You missed your mark.
I played 12 minutes both drunk and sober, and both times couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure anything out about it. Couldn't figure out how to progress in it. Couldn't figure it out. You can also tell I was drunk when I wrote the notes on it, because again I just said it looks like crap. I don't like the overhead view. I don't like it at all. I don't like the point and click on a console. I feel like I've got to circle around so many things, and you miss a lot of things because you're on a console. You can't hover your mouse over. You can't search the screen. Like, you just miss a lot of things. Another thing I've got in my notes, again, you can tell I was drunk. I've just got Willem Dafoe with a quite an exclamation point.
So,
And then I just said very point and click kind of vibes, kind of good for nostalgia, but that was it.
so I do agree with you. So I thought the puzzles actually, see, it's a weird one, right? Once you figure them out, I did have to look some of them up, admittedly, because I just couldn't do it, and it was due to clunky controls and them being a little bit convoluted, right?
Yeah.
But when you figured one out yourself, you go, oh, that's actually brilliant. Like, that's clever how they've done that. And even the ones when I had to look it up, I went, if I'd figured that out, I would have been really happy. But at the same time, I wouldn't have figured that out. So I thought the puzzles were really well designed, just a bit too difficult to figure out what you're doing. And that, I think that mainly comes from the control system on a console. The point and click thing does not work on an Xbox very well. There was actually, see, when I was filming the clips for it, I was just trying to get like one bit of the controls with the dragging something out your inventory, and it kept fucking clicking on the wrong thing. And I was just like, God, like, I'm nearly done with this. Why is it doing this? It is intriguing. The story is good. Really good reveals and twists at the end. And depending what ending you get, is a bit lackluster. So like the twist is good at the end, but the actual ending was like, oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything to add, Cairns?
Well, you guys hated the controls. I found them all right, to be honest. For me, it was really good, and I don't know if you're maybe talking about later on puzzles, Ferg, but every puzzle that I've gone through so far, they have taken me some time, but I've not had to look any up, and I love the feeling of
Figuring it
them
out. Yeah.
I love that. See, when you're like, I love it when it's something really smart, and you get it, and you're like, oh, that's so good. Like that you figured it out, you've got it.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
that's all I'd say. Is like, I think the story was good. I haven't finished it yet, but you know,
it is some of the puzzles.
I think it's such a good idea for a game.
Yeah, and the voicing is quite good. I thought the voicing was really good actually. What you were saying about the style one, that's just an art style thing. Like, so obviously it's not your cup of tea, that art style, but I thought the style that actually looked pretty, but again the controls are what took away from me. And it was a couple of the later on puzzles, Cairns, where I was sitting there and I was like, never ever. Did you get to the light switch puzzle?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I think it was that one was the one where I was like, what am I meant to do
Yeah.
here? So yeah,
Okay.
right.
Well,
Scores. So
scores.
I
I
gave it a
gave an 8.
6.5. Oh, you give it an 8. Oh,
Yeah, I
big.
really enjoyed it.
I was six. I
I,
was 6.5.
I was a 4.5 just because it was like I get why people would like it, but I don't like it personally.
Fair enough.
4.5.
So the vote then between Forgotten City and 12 minutes. Who's given what? Here,
I've gone
I'm voting
Halo,
Forgotten City.
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Oh, 12 minutes is the winner. Okay. Do you know what's really
Yeah,
annoying?
I enjoyed it.
I keep trying to edit the table on OBS. So, like, see how I've got it on the screen here? I go,
Yeah,
like, click. I'm
I've
like,
done that before.
fair enough. 12 minutes goes through. Oh, no, that's an exclamation mark. No, that's the wrong.
You're
Oh, dear. Oh, it's all going wrong.
Oh, it's all compete on.
Right, can I spell minutes? Yes.
Just write min.
Wait, why is it up there now? Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're having a man.
Oh, no, now I'm clicking on OBS. That's why. I'm trying to move the thing on OBS.
Oh no!
Oh,
Professionalism.
no.
And Juan, this is what happens when Ferg takes control.
Oh no, it says Halo. Oh no!
It's not,
no,
why is it not disappearing?
It's had an absolute mare.
1 hour in.
Oh, it's going. It's all the way down there now.
No, that's it. No,
There we
it's,
go.
it's right. It's done it.
Good.
It's done it. It's done it. It's done it.
Well, we can vote. We can go through this bracket now.
Yeah,
Or
we
do you
can
want
just
to
go
talk
through the
about games?
bracket.
We can
Okay,
just-
so we've gone through the games, obviously. So between Forza and Kena, it's two completely different games. In their own right, I think Forza is the better version of itself.
Mm-hmm.
To be perfectly honest, it's pretty neck and neck on which one I prefer.
Fire, let's just go. Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Or is that-
Forza,
Forza. Yeah, Forza.
Forza. Well, we can
I think it was.
take a couple minutes, boys. We don't have to be fucking flying here.
No.
No, just for this one, and then because Ferg, are we splitting for YouTube? Are we splitting?
Yeah, we'll probably split it on YouTube because you're not going to put a
It'll
4 hour
be
video
4
up, are
hour
you?
long.
Yeah.
I might put up a 20-hour one.
Yeah.
24-hour one.
Right. So I think the obvious choice here, Halo's just the better game in 12 minutes, right?
12 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
One.
Well, you know what? You know what, Juan? I agree. 12 minutes.
No, Halo. No, Halo.
So for this one,
Ooh.
Forza or Halo, the Xbox bracket playoff already. Oh,
Oh.
this is big. See,
In my opinion, but
can I say my piece?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
Forza is amazing for what it is, right? Amazing for what it is. It's
So Halo.
probably it's. I mean, we knew these two were going to make it through this bracket. Let's be honest. It's an incredible piece of like game engineering. It's amazing. The open world's great, but it is very derivative of Forza 4. Is what I'd say. Whereas Halo is, I mean, the campaign's very good. It's setting the foundation for something in the future. I think, see if it were 2 years from now and it was Forza Horizon 6 versus the next Halo, it would be Halo by a country mile because Halo Infinite has set something up here. I would probably say I would rather go and explore the world of Halo and finish doing the 100% of that than I would Forza. Just because that's what my vote would be with Halo because of the campaign and everything.
Juan, you want to go?
Yeah, of course I will. So I did enjoy both of these games. Obviously Halo's got more of a nostalgia thing for me. It's got I grew up playing Halo. Halo's one of the first games I ever owned as well. Forza again, really good. You can play the Warthog in Forza, which is a crossover that you didn't expect to see. It's more difficult than it should be for me, but I'm gonna go with Halo.
Okay, well, we know Halo's one
Yep.
because it's two of you. But my only gripe would be, yeah, Forza is the same. It's pretty much the same gameplay as Forza 4. But then that at the same time, Halo, for me, it's the same mechanics. It's not improved any massively for mechanics wise.
I disagree
For
with that.
me,
Okay,
No.
fair enough.
But my one thing is that I agree with you, Ferg, that if I was to go on to play this, like when I get onto Halo story, I can just tell that I'll be more intrigued with the story.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I'll be more because I know Forza's. I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, Halo would probably pull me deeper in rather than Forza because there didn't seem like much of a story going on with Forza.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I think Halo's also a franchise saver. We have to remember that. Like,
Yeah, and it has done as well.
yeah, it's a great game. It's going to be fantastic. So, Halo Infinite is going in there. And let's be honest, both of these games could have been in the final feasibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right, do we want to, Kieran, do you want to do a quick outro for the cut for YouTube?
I mean, well, that's the first one. That's the first bracket. Catch the next one in our next video. But if you're staying on the stream, then it's here.
Yeah.